Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Bros, the most generous community in all of crypto YouTube.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look, there's no Friday events at all in the two impact or higher. So I have to go to one impact to see it, and it's nothing. Next week, let's go ahead and take a look. Monday, nothing really big coming out. Monthly budget statement. Tuesday, that's going to be our inflation rate, core inflation data coming out, and the CPI. Wednesday, FOMC day. We get to see Jerome Powell. He becomes a superstar of the economic world on Wednesday. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It's if I look here, it's actually saying even on here that we're looking at a rate pause on the Fed interest decision. So we'll see what it is. And the CPI data that's coming in right now for core inflation is actually showing downside on that and on the core inflation rate. Just saw this breaking news. Army Piper read something today. Today's CPI data by inflation, guys, down to 2.74. And I do want to point something out here. This is interesting, and I just saw this. Our inflation rate currently at 4.9%, correct? Mm-hmm. Forecasted to be down 0.2%. But look at the consensus. The consensus is 4.1%. That's really, really freaking low. So I don't know. Maybe the Fed is finally starting to catch up with trueflation. We just had a bunch of liquidations, guys. Right now, look at the liquidations on Bitcoin for the 24 hours. It's only under 14 million, which is really low. I know that seems like a big deal. It's only 14 million. But yeah, liquidations. And look at the ones that are getting liquidated, guys. Shorts, not longs. 8 million of those is short liquidations, 6 million in longs. So look at Ethereum. People get a little bit more bullish on Ethereum. I think a lot more people went on longs on Ethereum because it was not listed as a security in either one of those documents from the SEC. Looks like 3 million in long liquidations on Ethereum, 2 million in shorts. Let's go down here over to the 24-hour and let's see who has the most. Binance has the most liquidations out of all the exchanges. So that's what we're seeing there, Tim. I'm going to kick it over to you.
Let's take a look here. Not a lot is changing, guys, in the CME futures. We're just hovering right here at 75, 73. Not a lot happening here. Let's just see if for some reason we're updating anything in July, because unless something breaking news hits us early next week, we're going to have a pause. The first pause in over a year. We're still looking at a rate hike, though, for July, and it looks like we're going to end the year in December. They're predicting back down where we currently are at between 5 to 5.25. So a lot can change in that long timeline, but at the moment, nothing is changing with those tools. Also, speaking of not changing, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting right where we left it yesterday at 50. You guys are going to see here, this is just how boring it is. Last month, 52. Last week, 50. Yesterday, 50. Today, 50. Looking at Bitcoin this morning, we are on the 4-hour chart, and guys, it is starting to do exactly what we have been talking about here on the Investing Bros in forming this right shoulder. In fact, yesterday we discussed this green line that used to be resistance has been turned into support. It's also been the support both of our left shoulder and now what looks like we are forming a nice little right shoulder. This is looking pretty round. Yes, his right shoulder is closer to his head. This is the Batman head right here. It's closer to the head than maybe we would like, but that right there, guys, that's a prettier inverse head and shoulders pattern than some we've seen more recently. And of course, as we discussed yesterday, this would send us up around $29,000, moving over here to a potential breakout. Let's see here. Yeah. About $29,000. I'm looking at our oscillators here this morning. You guys know I love my Chart Prime oscillator with the most recent flash being oversold and green triangle calling that bottom perfectly matched with our Chart Prime reversal indicator. By the way, guys, in case you guys have looked at and tried a lot of different indicator packages, Chart Prime changed the game. They put these reversal indicators in, which are so much more powerful. This reversal pattern, not only does it say we're reversing, we're sitting on very strong support here at 25.2, 25.3, this range we just bounced off of, as well as looking at Fibonacci levels and fixed range volume profile. There was so much confluence that came in this level, but this is just one more thing to add on so that when you know you enter a trade, whether long or short, you're getting as best information as you can possible. Look at these oscillators right here on the 4-hour. We're sitting right here on top of the zero. There's a lot of places you want to be. When you start making it up towards this red line on the RSI, you're getting a little overextended to the upside. You're getting a little overbought. You want to be hesitant. You definitely don't want to be entering any new long position when you're hitting the red. When you're hitting the green, it's the exact opposite. You definitely don't want to be hitting a short. You want to start looking for a good buy opportunity. But the zero line is kind of one you have to watch, and staying on top of it and using as support is a good opportunity for long positions. If you get down below it and you start using it as resistance, you're starting to look for an area where you're like, all right, maybe I'm looking for a short if we keep rejecting on the zero. So keep your eyes on that, guys, as we start to look at Bitcoin push back up with a lot of different things calling for a move to the upside. Watch for that 26,900 to be a first level of resistance, and then start to make a push back up here towards the descending level of resistance of our trading channel. Cardano, which is down this morning to 31 cents. Piper and I are not surprised. This is actually what we have been looking at. You guys know that we kind of hesitated at the golden pocket. We're still keeping our candle bodies up there, but our wicks now are starting to push lower to the lows we set back on March 10th, March 11th back here. Honestly, guys, we could even make a little bit of a push down here towards 28 cents down to the platinum pocket as well. But what I'm seeing over here on our oscillators, the RSI be super low down here towards 13. I told you guys before, anytime you drop below 30 on the RSI, you're absolutely looking at, hey, you're watching, when can I see a good spot to enter the market? We are massively overextended. We're down here below the golden pocket. We got two big bullish flashes here on the daily chart. Green reversal triangle, okay, it flashed here a couple days ago, and now we're flashing that oversold orange box. So this right here alone is a great sign for saying, hey, this is a super nice time to be scooping up some more Cardano. But let's take a look at that fixed range volume profile that I hinted at over on Bitcoin. Let's break it down here. April to where we are right now, fixed range volume profile. This is Q2 of 2023 we're looking at here. Look at how far below we are from anything. Value area low sitting all the way up here at 36 cents, point of control at 39 cents, and then value area high at 42 because it's at 41.99. Massively oversold in Q2. Well, some people are going to look at this and say, oh, Tim, that's bearish. We're heading down. We're way below where we could be. But when do you buy an asset?
When there's blood in the streets, Tim. When there's blood in the streets and everyone's running away from it, grab your wallet and run in there.
When you are this far below your value area lows is blood in the streets. But guys, that's just Q2. Let's go back to Q1 of this year. Go back to January 1st. We are below the value area low on Q1. There's blood in the streets. But you know what? Let's go back even further. Let's go back even to Q4 of 2022, back here to October 1st. Boom. Oh my gosh, guys, we are below the value area low of the last 3 quarters. Here's the thing, guys. Crypto, it's bottomed out. Bitcoin is bottomed out, and we know that these things are going to follow Bitcoin. The fact that we are below value area lows right now is the epitome of blood in the street, but there's got to be bottoms. And what we're seeing on the charts, we are flashing major bottoms and we're flashing major oversold. And I'm telling you right now, despite the fact the price is low and could go lower, Cardano is worth more than what it's currently at. And that is the epitome of a good buy.
So looking at Ethereum here, guys, on the 4-hour, you can see still grinding sideways right here in between that platinum pocket. No big change there. Starting to get a little squeeze right here on the cloud. So I'm watching that, but really the ribbon's just sideways moving. The RSI prime's just sideways moving. Even if I go over here, drop this onto the trend fusion oscillator. Look at the money flow here, Tim. Do you see this? The money flow even is like just right here in this area. So like there's no one buying or selling on Ethereum right now. There's just little micro movements. Even the liquidations is down. That's probably because there's less people in there trading it.
We talked about that. I mean, Ethereum is the one that is probably holding off the most gains and the most losses. It is the most consolidated crypto at the moment, even more than Bitcoin, I would say. And Bitcoin's pretty consolidated, but Ethereum acting a little bit like a stable coin. And guess what? On bad days, that's a nice thing. On good days, it's a little bit disappointing, but its day will come.
I will show you, I'm still holding my long. It's up 3% on my Ethereum trade. My XRP trade up about 13, just hit 15% a little bit ago. Little pullback when it hit the 54-cent mark. So I'm not really worried about it.
Binance.us to halt the dollar deposits after SEC crackdown. There we go, right there. We're just going to read a couple of the details here. June 8th from Reuters. Crypto exchange Binance US said on Thursday it is stopping U.S. deposits withdrawals from exchange after U.S. financial regulators said that they support freezing Binance's assets. Binance.us said the customer noticed that it would no longer accept dollar deposits as part of plans to change to a crypto-only exchange. It did not give details of who its banking partners are. Crypto Frenzy is full of hucksters and scam artists. How many points should we give old Gary Gensler for using the word huckster in a recent story? This is
what exactly is a huckster? Let's get there first.
I mean, I looked up some pictures of hucksters. It's pretty much just an old Western scam artist, right? Is what it is. Bad day for him. Let's scroll here. Let's read some details. The current Crypto Frenzy is reminiscent of what we had back in the 1920s. So that's what you're talking about. Like I said, old Western, but guess what? Technically, there's still old Western stuff happening in the 1920s. The reminiscence of what we
That's
in the
funny.
1920s, before the federal securities laws were put in place, according to the SEC chair. Hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists, Ponzi schemes. The public left in line at the bankruptcy court. He also says that exchanges that list such tokens must register with the regulatory agency. The crypto security markets should not be allowed to undermine the well-earned trust of the public has in the capital markets. Gensler ad. He says the crypto markets should not be allowed to harm investors. Let's see. Do I have anything else written here? Yeah, we'll keep moving on here. He pushes back on crypto frenzy. During the conference, Gensler aggressively spoke against those in the crypto industry who say that the SEC has not defined what is and is not a security. I read this and I was like, oh, is he actually, Piper? Is he going to give us insight into what a security is? No, this is his quote. When crypto asset market participants go on Twitter or TV and say they lacked fair notice that their conduct could be illegal, don't believe it. All right, here we go. Are you going to tell us why? They may have made a calculated economic decision to take the risk of enforcement at the cost of doing business. Gary, you're still not telling us what a security is, but they should have known. Esper Bank, Russia's largest bank, will offer crypto trading services. And I say this is positive because it's positive for crypto, but this is a sad story, guys. This is sad that literally Russia is more friendly to freedom than the United States. Because we're not going to support Russia's political movements. But how are you not sitting here saying, what the heck? Good for Russia. The largest bank in Russia, Esper Bank, is set to offer crypto trading services to its customers. Moreover, the announcement states that the bank's customers will gain access to digital asset services starting in June. Specifically, the bank is now set to allow investors to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Kind of a cut and dry story. Ultimately, Russia is moving towards Bitcoin freedom. This is a top-notch story because it's from CNN Business Consumer.
Wait a minute. It's official?
It's official, guys. It's official. CNN reporting. It is hold on a second. CNN Business Consumer, 0 followers.
Interesting.
You can't make it up. I didn't write this article. It's official. We're in a bull market. S&P 500 rallied Thursday to end the day in a bull market, marking a 20% surge since its most recent lows reached in October 12th, 2022. That brings the end to the bear market. Began on January 2022. Investors are certainly in a buying mood. CNN's Fear and Greed Index hit extreme greed Thursday. All right, okay. That's not good. Extreme greed means the prices are about to fall. But it's CNN, so it makes sense. But guys, the key thing here, 20%. This little thing right here, they're saying because we surged 20% that means we're in a bull market. Let's come over here and look at Reuters. Reuters had a couple more things to say about here, but it clarifies. It says right here, I'm going to read, I didn't highlight it, but it says S&P 500 advanced on Thursday, putting a benchmark index of 20% up from its October 12th closing low and heralding the start of a new bull market, at least by definition of some market participants. Thank you, Reuters. Because I don't know who these are. Part of the uncertainty is that there is no set definition. There's no set definition of a bull market or bear market or any sort of regulatory body that declares one, such as the National Bureau of Economic Research does with recessions. The most commonly accepted definition is a 20% rise off of a low for a bull market and a 20% decline from a high for a bear market, but even that is open to interpretation.
Look, and I clicked news. Guys, it's everyone's showing it. It's every single news article out there is talking about that we are in a bull market. This is everywhere. It's not just CNN. It's really bad that it's spread this far and wide.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Great job. Now, if you want more content like this, whether it be TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins, or you just want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest news in crypto, then stay tuned and tune in to our 9 a.m. live show every single weekday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you tune in live, use the keyword grip strength in the chat, and you'll get a special shout out from anyone who's paying attention to the chat. Love to see you there.